Hi again. Hopefully by now you guys have completed your notes on sources. There was some confusion this week about what to do with those notes. And as each day is evolving through this school closure and remote learning, you have to pay attention to the things I send you. Okay, so please read the reminds I send you. And now we are trying to move to Microsoft Teams as a online classroom. It's like Google Classroom. Okay, so you need to start to become familiar with that. In order to go to Microsoft Teams, you need to go to the high school website, go to Office 365, and then you'll see Teams. Okay, it's got a little purple icon. Click on that and you should see our class. Okay, it's labeled period 4, period 9, grade 11. So as time progresses, we are going to start to use that more often for submitting work. For now, for the notes on sources, just email them to me in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if you take a picture of them or if you did it on your computer and you just want to email me as an attachment, that's fine. A couple of you used SharePoint. That worked. That was great. So however you want to submit them is fine with me. Okay. If you do the notes, you get 100. Okay, all 4. That's it. I'm not grading each one per se. So if you do it, you get credit for doing it. So please try to get that done as soon as possible if you haven't already. At this point this week, we're focusing on the outline for the paper. So I sent out a video to you guys, I believe yesterday morning, on how to work on the outline. And so just need to continue working on that. We started out with the introduction, okay, and then each supporting paragraph needs to have one main idea that supports your claim. Okay, so I started to work through my outline today, and I have so far a general paragraph about the history of divorce and how common it is. Then I have another paragraph about how parents need to help children cope with their feelings, such as anger and powerlessness. Then another paragraph about how newer research shows that the majority of kids do recover if given proper support in their lives. And now I'm up to the point of the paper where I'm going to have to write a paragraph about the opposing argument or arguments. And of course there are many in this particular case. That's why it's a controversial issue. Should parents stay together for the sake of their children? Many people say yes, they should. My paper is saying no, they shouldn't. Okay, so I have to write a paragraph now about some other argument, and then I have to knock down that argument. I can't just say they're right too. Okay, this is not the point of the counterclaim. The point of the counterclaim is to show that you're intelligent enough to realize that your issue is multifaceted and there are many ways you can approach it, and you are addressing that. So my counterclaim is coming from this article that I read that says adult children of divorce are more likely to have relationship issues. So I'm taking information from this article and presenting it in my counterclaim paragraph, and then I am going to try to knock it down somehow. This is the counterclaim body paragraph, and I'm using this article about adult children of divorce are more likely to have relationship issues. Okay, and I'm going to try to argue against that. Okay, so I need a topic sentence still. On the other hand, and that is a good way to start your counterclaim, it signals to the reader that you're presenting an opposing view. Okay, so there are many transitional phrases you could use, like on the contrary, or contrarily you could use, but on the other hand is pretty simple and basic, and that's fine. Okay, so on the other hand, many experts say that the damage done by divorce is permanent. Okay, so That's the counterclaim. For example, here's my evidence. Psychologist Geraldine Piorkowski says that adult children of divorce have issues with romantic relationships. Okay, again, notice that I just wrote the number 4 here because that is how I numbered my articles. This is article number 4. And it's just to remind me for later on when I'm doing MLA format where that came from. Also take note, I did not use a quote here under evidence. I just paraphrased what she said. That means I put it into my own words. That doesn't mean I don't have to cite it. I can't just steal her idea. So I still have to cite it in my paper. That's why I put the number 4 there. Okay, so this lady, she's a psychologist. She says that people who come from divorced families grow up and have problems with their romantic relationships. Okay, so how do I knock this down? Well, I don't have to knock it down completely, but here's what I'm saying to argue against this lady. While this may be true, wouldn't it also be true of adults that came from families where there was domestic violence and the parents stayed together? Okay, so remember, guys, that this is my outline only. This is not exactly what I'm going to write in my paper. This is just the basic skeleton. So later on in my paper, I'm definitely going to add to that. Okay, so more evidence. Piakowski states children of divorce are pessimistic about love. Okay, so now that was a direct quote from her, what she said, from her article. She wrote a book, actually. So I am numbering that again. Okay, so I'm going to explain that. While a messy, angry divorce is no doubt damaging, so is watching parents argue constantly. Okay, and again, later in my paper, I might get into that a little bit more about how when kids grow up in a family where there's constant turmoil and fighting and abuse, they're also probably going to grow up and have some difficulties with relationships, especially romantic ones. So I think it's a pretty decent comeback for this lady. Then my closing sentence. The argument that divorce permanently scars children may be true, but so is staying married to an abusive, psychotic partner. All right, maybe I won't use psychotic later, but that's the first word that popped into my head. So I just put it in there. Again, this is not, doesn't have to be perfect the first time you're doing it. You're just laying down the groundwork, the foundation for your paper. And later on when you're actually typing it, you'll flesh out these ideas further. So I threw in the conclusion here for you as well. And again, I may change it or add to it later, but just for now, I wrote, there's no doubt that divorce is stressful and painful for children. Feeling like their safe world is falling apart, kids need extra support, communication, and real tools to help them cope. With the right help, kids can grow up to lead healthy lives. Okay, so again, later on, next week, when I'm typing the paper up, I may add to that. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or if you want to give me feedback, I would appreciate it. You can always email me. You can send me messages, actually, through our team. Okay, just go on and find our team on the school's website and be in touch, okay? Please keep working on this, and I promise you next week I'm going to walk you through how to type and use MLA format properly, and I'll see you soon. Bye.